Hello guys and welcome back. In this video I want to improve on the we call it the Ironsight functionality, and meanwhile I had a little breakdown. So it seems that because I changed my weapon info, all this unknown structure and stuff happened. So I had to reconnect a lot of stuff all over the place, but it happened because this one got changed. So just be aware that if you do this, you're gonna have a bit of a time making this cleanup as well. So just a heads up. So in the meantime, I've got everything running, and now I can pop into this Ironsight again. So we want to improve this in this video. Now, one thing I'm not so happy about is that I can't switch between first and third person anymore. So let's go and start off by fixing that. And that's because I disconnected the camera zoom and oops, inside that. Let's see, when we play now, we can go into first person, and when we equip the weapon and right click, he just zooms like normal. So all my previous functionality is gone. So that's kind of bad. So we want to change something, and first of all, excuse me, got a beginning to get a sore throat, I believe. Not good. Let's take a look at this one. This gets our first person camera. Okay, so that's good enough. So after that we have a check here. So one thing I just noticed is that this adjust camera zoom, this one, it's getting called from this input axis camera zoom. One thing you will notice is actually if you drag this one out and print and run this, you will see that it actually runs on, I don't know if it's every tick, but it runs constantly. So that's the reason why we can't switch to anything now. Also, if I make a search, I believe I just camera zoom, I just figured out also I have it inside this update movement, and I don't really need it in here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and delete that and then reconnect these two again. So I think my I didn't know that at that point that I made that that it would actually work. So the fuck do I get off this wall? Okay, great. Okay. So before, apparently I could not, it would not adjust the head when I changed state, and I believe it does work now. Okay, so anyway, just gotta remove that one from the update movement. It's a bug, and it shouldn't have been there in the first place. So now we only have this adjust camera zoom being called one place, and that's when we from this input axis camera zoom event. But that's also going to be triggered every tick. So we don't want to do this constantly. That's actually what I found out in the meantime. So one thing I want to check here is I have my active camera, and we actually want to make quite a bit of changes in this video, so it might be a little bit long, and I might decide halfway to break this up into two. Depends on how long this takes to explain. So what I'm doing here is I'm saying only I want to only do this. I'm going to make a branch here, and actually I kind of want to get rid of all this in here. Okay, so it is actually doing exactly what it says. It only switches cameras if needed. So this one goes up here, and damn it. Okay, whatever. It's gonna be here. So we want to call our previous function that we made last time, but I'm also going to make changes to that. But I'm going to call that anyway. Activate camera. And what I'm saying here is if we are let's see. Whoops, I think I deleted something. Yep, I did. So this one is saying if we should use first person, then we check first if we are our active camera is equal to the follow camera, because if it is, then we do want to change it to first person camera. So I know I said earlier on that if I wanted to change something and I would use this function, but it just happens. Decided something else because I'm beginning to become lazy. Too much stuff to do. Otherwise it's going to take too much time. So blah blah blah. Connect that one up. So if we are not in first person camera, then we want to activate the follow cam. Oops. So activate camera and then pick the follow cam. There we go. And connect this one up. And we want to connect that one up. So in case we do not have the follow cam, and that's because we can now have an Ironsight camera, then we still want to go through this stuff here. So we have something setting this active camera here, and actually you don't want to have it here, so I'm just gonna, this one updates the active camera variable. I'm just gonna remove that and put it somewhere else, because I want to put it inside our activate camera now, this guy that we made last time. So I'm gonna make quite a few changes here, because just found out that if you make a camera, there's a little setting here saying auto activate, and it says whether to the great English, whether the component is activated at creation or must explicitly be activated, it should have said. Okay, so that means that that's actually the reason why I have to disable everything, because that auto activate, I believe, is gonna take over control. So first of all, I'm just gonna, let's get rid of all that. But all my cameras, I want to make sure that I deactivate this one. So auto activate needs to be disabled here. The first person camera auto activate is disabled. Ironsight cam auto activate false. Okay, and then this is my new cam, and my I want to drag a reference into my active camera. Get active camera, this one. Because first of all, I want to make a check. Is this not equal? Hang on a sec. Branch. Okay. So what I'm checking here is the new camera different to my active camera? Because if it is, then I want to continue. Otherwise, I actually don't want to do anything. So if it is different, then if I have an active camera already, and notice that this may not be true to begin with. When we start the game now, then this one maybe not be set. Actually, it will not be set. So is valid. Gonna check that, and then we're gonna say if this is valid, then we want to set this one to deactivate it. Set activate. Set active equals to not set. I believe you can also use it deactivate, but I ended up using this one. So if it is not valid, actually, or if what we do want to set is the new camera to be active. So this guy coming from over here, we want to drag down here so we don't mess up our blueprint. And then drag this up, set active. And this guy you want to set to true. Okay, so if it is not valid, the active camera, we also want to make sure to set this one, the new cam to active. We want to do that anyway. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, and then finally I want to make sure to update my active camera variable like this, and then we are good to go in this function. So it's going to look like this. So we can save that one and forget everything about it, and that one we can also close. And let's see, let me just check if I have everything. Yeah. So every time we are in first person, then this will only be set if we are different from the follow cam. So if we're trying to do something with in our Ironsight cam, it won't change it back to first person. So that's what we accomplished here. So let me just check if we have something here floating around we need to remove. I think that's good. Let's just check if we can now zoom. So we can zoom now, and we can go into first person and pop into Ironsight mode. So next part, we want to make a smooth transition from this point to this point, and from this point to this point. And actually, I think it would be a good idea to break this up in two pieces, two smaller videos. So since we have now had a few bugs out of the way, I think this is a really good place to cut the video. And let's see, in the next video we want to remake all this stuff down here and complete this version of the Ironsight functionality. Okay, so thank you for watching, and see you in the next. Bye bye.